What is going on, everybody? We are doing our second installment of Techbot After Dark, and a show that pretty much whatever is going to happen is going to happen in this thing, and we're just going to continue to move on and continue to do whatever happens, and talk about whatever what comes up on our minds. Don't usually really have too much of a plan for it. Other than, whatever I see online or whatever I get going on. A lot of times I like to let you guys here in this chat kind of help drive this. We're just having fun and going on from there. If we got any other YouTubers out there that would like to come on and join me and have a good time, hey, that's what we're going to do. So YouTubers, hit me up on Instagram if you guys want the link to come on and hang out and just join in whatever discussion we get into. Again, I am Mr. Techbot, and this is Techbot After Dark. As we see, we already got some people over here in the chat. Already a lot more than last week, so that's a benefit. That's always a plus. We got Andy right here. It's 2 a.m. in the UK, and I might as well put it up here right here. 2 a.m. in the UK, and stayed awake just to watch the live stream. Hope you're well, friend. Thank you very much, buddy. I do appreciate you coming on. I know we were giving you a little bit of hard time in the Mandalorian panel we had earlier today about missing the first one, but that's okay. It's all in good fun. We just like to have fun, and wasn't by any means, but definitely that was a fun panel we did today. We had 5 guys, five great people on there. We had who do we have? We had, of course, JB from Discovery Bay. We had the man, the human encyclopedia for Star Wars is JK Awesome. Fetch Frequency, never met him before. Great guy. He has a huge amount of knowledge, and definitely I hope to be doing more with him in the future. We've also got my good friend over at Funko Fridge. What's happening, brother? We've got our Chris. What's happening, man? Over at K&L Collectibles. Glad you can enjoy the chat. And also we've got Victor Unbox. What's going on? Thank you for joining. So what is going on, everyone out there? What's the good news? And then, of course, I know out here, for you guys in the U.S., all the election stuff, I really don't. That's probably the one thing I really don't like getting into in live streams. I live by two main rules, especially when it comes to things I enjoy, whether it's social media or whether it's just communication. I don't talk about religion and I don't talk about politics. To me, that's a decision that each person has to make all on their own. And, to me, that's a private thing to be able to do. So we're not going to get into today. But we can talk about, I'm a big sports guy, of course, big comic guy, I'm just a big guy in general. Come on, man. So you know how it goes. So what's going on? What's everyone been up to today? Anything good on this Saturday going on? Hope everyone's been good. It's real cloudy around here, real windy out here in Florida. So we don't get a lot of like crazy windy days out here. We're starting to get into the dry season. So of course, we get a little bit more here and there, but it's just been a real weird day, lazy day. And, I've had some stuff to do. There's a whole lot of things going on in my personal life over here with, careers and starting up some new stuff. So, a whole lot of information getting thrown my way. So, it's nice to be able to come on here and do these types of chats and hang out with you guys and go from there. So, we have Chris saying, not much, man. Working a lot. Haven't made a video in a while. Yeah, I realized I haven't seen a video from you in a little while. But the thing is, and I had it happen a couple weeks ago where, life just kind of gets in the way, even as a YouTuber. We're not those high value YouTubers. We're not the Mr. Beast. We're not the Mr. Beast is just I love his shows, but we're not those high YouTubers. We ain't making big money. In fact, I'm not making any money on it. But sometimes life gets in the way, and unfortunately, in that case, sometimes things we like YouTube, it just it kind of I don't know. It just has to go to the wayside until we can, get through those things and continue going on with what we have. So, I've got a lot going on in the background of everything going on. But, for me, I found YouTube is kind of turned into that. It's my hobby. It's my outlet, my way of, stepping myself out of the real world and finding something I enjoy. I enjoy collectibles. I enjoy doing these mystery boxes. I enjoy hanging out here with you guys on Fridays and Saturdays. It's to me, it's a step away from a little bit of reality, but unfortunately, sometimes reality ties us up longer than what we would like it to. So, where are we at here? We got, it's been just work for me. Take a break editing. My next, that's a good question. I'll bring up now for me. I like editing. I sometimes I get into a zone and I just get in there and I enjoy editing. I know a lot of people, of course they film. Some people are really, really good and I don't really see any cuts, or if they are doing any cuts, they're really, really good at covering it in. But unfortunately, I'm not one. Sometimes I get my mouth gets so moving so fast that, I don't really get. I do a lot of cuts. I'm not gonna lie. I do a lot of takeovers and retakes and stuff like that. And but I personally like editing. Now my buddy right here, the Bearded Barbarian, man. If you guys ever watched any of his videos, this dude right here, man, I don't know how he does it. He does. And I know he does it because he hates editing. But he does these things one take straight through, no problem. He pumps these videos out. But I know a lot of people don't like editing really, and I really kind of enjoy it, to be honest with you. I've learned a lot of things from my buddy Wayne from Wayne Co. Where he gets really more into the theatrical, trying to do something different, change things up a little. I don't get that far into it, but I do like the editing process and looking at different styles and tweaking it out here and there, maybe doing a little bit of things from time to time. But I really find editing to be something I enjoy. But I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. What do we have? Trying to catch you guys are starting to bring it in. So got things to make videos with. Just try to press for free time. Yeah, the free time's hard to come by, man. You really have to do it for the enjoyment. I decided that a while back. Yeah, exactly. This YouTube again. If you're going into, would I like to make a career out of YouTube? Sure, anybody that's doing it would. Who doesn't want to do something they enjoy? But in the meantime of building yourself up and getting yourself to a certain point, you have to find a place to enjoy it, and you got to really be in there and find something you enjoy. So. Where are we at? We're back in lockdown in the UK, so other than work, not a lot to do. Hey, start a YouTube channel. Just show your everyday life. See what how life is in the world of lockdown. Find your fun, man. Find it out there. Enjoy it. Find something to do. Victor Box says editing is probably my favorite part. Being in front of the camera is a challenge for me. That is something really definitely. I have found that to be a challenge. I not so much anymore. I don't mind being in front of the camera, especially when I'm here in my safe studio. My challenge is going out of here. My challenge is really going out of here and being out of the road. And I'm going to start doing that. I know I did that one Disney video out of Disney Springs. I'm really going to do another one. I got to get out to studios, but right now with their reservation systems that they do and stuff like that, studios is hard to get into. So I want to try to get into studios at some point and do a video over at Galaxy's Edge. Because I know there's so many people out there who, are big Star Wars fans, of course, but just with everything going on right now, just not able to one way or the other. So, if I can try to bring that to you guys, I definitely would try to do that. But I think that's probably my next outing goal to do. Says Beer Bar, and it's hard to splice. Yeah, like I said, I like to splice, but I have a tendency that a lot of times, when I knew I jumbled over my words or I'll stop myself, give myself like a 2-3 second count, and then I go back, so that way when I know when I'm editing it, I know exactly where to stop and start it, so I don't get jumbled on my words. Like I said, I have been, sometimes my brain goes faster than my mouth does, or yeah. So a lot of times I get jumbled up in my wording, and it happens. What we got? I do not take two technically. I do one take two technically, but do a lot of small edits. So I guess now, see, I only film once, but sometimes like a 10, 15 minute, maybe even a 20-minute film will have like 30 to 40 minutes of actual raw footage, that a lot of this I just cut out. But I'll edit as I go if I don't feel, or sometimes. And there's a lot of stuff that I go through and I'm editing, I'm going, why did I go off on a rant like that? That really has nothing to do with anything, and that just all gets cut out. If I don't really feel it, an editing stage, if it's not worth it, then I just cut it out. Can't wait to do some out and about videos. Maybe some, yeah. I mean, like I said, out and about videos are definitely cool. My little wired mic I have when I went out to Springs did really, really well, better than I expected. I didn't know what that was going to do, especially with wearing the mask. And that did really well. I really enjoyed that. OTT with G, what's up, brother? I know definitely a lot more people in here chatting than last week, right? But again, like I said, if any of y'all here in the chat, or YouTubers out there or anything like that, do want to come on, just hit me up in the IG. I'll send you over the info, and come on. We'll keep on talking. That's my daughter. She get ready for bed, or she's a night owl. She stays up too long. But yeah, hit me up. Let me know. I'll send you over I'll share you over the information, and we can go from there. But turns out, yeah, a lot, especially, and I think a lot of that last week was I probably shouldn't have started it. This Techbot After Dark thing last week. I thought it would be good because it was Halloween, but I think the problem was being at 9:00 last week was 6:00 over on the West Coast, which is when everyone was starting to do whatever Halloween stuff they were starting to do. So everyone, I think, was just out and about. Wasn't the greatest idea to do. So, but why don't you go lay down? All right.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.
All right. Go downstairs.
Have a good night, y'all.
She's getting, see, you talk about getting comfortable in front of the camera. She's definitely getting comfortable in front of the camera. And she's at the young age. Mm-hmm. We got JB. Oh, yeah, JB did jump in. What's up in there, buddy? I appreciate it. Says you have Wayne on last week for the first. No, I didn't actually. No, Wayne didn't even come. I think he got busy. We talked about it before. Should I bring Wayne in for the first episode or whatnot? And I didn't mind I really don't mind if he comes in and joins and stuff like that. But it was just me. I want to make sure. Originally, I wasn't sure because, I didn't want people to bring Wayne in to think that this was just another, Wayne and Mr. Techbot or whatever. We are coming up with a show name probably, hopefully by the end of the month. But, I didn't want it to be another one. This is something that I was doing. I know he's starting to do a Thursday show too. So, that's, kind of, I don't know how to say doing our own thing, but, kind of have a little bit of separation. I mean, me and Wayne have a lot of fun. I mean, we don't, what are you doing? We have a lot of fun, and, we still talk outside of the channel and the stuff all the time, and we go from there. So who else we got on here? Why don't you go lay down? All right, who else we got here? Yeah, JB was definitely one. He was with me on the fact that Mandalorian episode was not up. I mean, I was actually, I felt cheated after that Mandalorian episode. I was just like, what the hell? There was not enough information, and like, yeah, I wasn't feeling it. So I'm hoping next week's will be a lot better. I was I was guest star on the first After Dark episode. We shared our joint passion of making fun of Pattinson. Yes, I know that's been a constant thing actually lately. I was harassing Wayne about it earlier. If you guys watch any of the rewind from last week, I probably spent half of the episode bashing Robert Pattinson because again, him of course being the next Batman, and I'm just, I think aside from him being Batman, I'm just not huge on his acting, to be honest with you. Like I said last week, I'm not going to go too much into it because I went into it a lot last week, but I just don't think he's the greatest Batman out there. So, he's just, I think it's going to be kind of it's going to be a weird Batman, and I don't know. Maybe I should give him, and everyone tells me, of course, maybe I should give him a chance. But everyone was saying that about Val Kilmer. Everyone was saying that about George Clooney. How did that turn out? I don't know. Everyone's going to have their different opinion, and that's just my opinion. Mind you, I'm talking about this as a Marvel fan. I'm not a huge DC fan. Batman's classic. I think he's been. I think there's been too many people trying to reenact a great role. There's just kind of like Superman. Too many people trying to reenact a great role. When you look at Marvel, they sign people to multi-year contracts because they want that continuation. They want that, connection that these characters are bringing. Now, we got so used to, which I actually thought Christian Bale did a fantastic job. I heard that he really didn't want to do the Batman anymore, but he did a fantastic job. But now we got to go back through and have a whole new one. I think that's sometimes what my biggest thing with DC on that is, they're constantly getting rid of one. Oh no, wait, actually Affleck was the last Batman. Okay, now we get rid of Affleck, which I'm not hating on him. I think he definitely did better than Val Kilmer and George Clooney, but now he fired him. We got to get another one, and it's never ending. It's never ending with those guys. I just do not get it. But where are we at? I would agree with this comment. He's going to be better than Val Kilmer and George Clooney. I think anybody could be better than Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Especially Clooney, nonetheless. He was never that Batman. He could not distinguish the difference between the Bruce Wayne and the he could never distinguish the difference between Bruce Wayne and Batman, to be 1,000% honest. It was the same character and we all know that with Batman you got to distinguish that difference. Trey looks promising. He's a good actor. I'm giving the benefit. To be honest, I know OTT, which we talked about last week. I've watched that trailer probably, I don't know, 5-6 times now, because I want to like it. I really want to like it. There's a small part of me that wants to like it, but I can't. I think the bad outfit looks bad. I think the car looks bad. I think, to me, like I said, I don't think Pattinson's a good actor to begin with. He's a chick flick actor, and he needs to stay in the chick flick realm. That's just me personally, but that's where it goes. Huge Chris Nolan fan in general. Still need to see the 10. I do agree that I heard that is actually going to be a good job. Funny thing is, I think we looked last week. I think Pattinson is actually in that. Funny thing, but that does look very, very good. And Tenet looks interesting. That is up there with something I want to see. Yeah, I Am Vengeance. Yeah. I'm sorry. Hey Chris, if you want to come on and try to talk me anything different, please feel free to come on and try to explain this one to me. I would love it. I'm really hoping, where is it? I'm really hoping to be able to see some of these big blockbuster movies in the theater. Here's my thing with the whole movies nowadays. Personally, I mean, yes, there's movies like, I mean, of course, Endgame was fantastic to see in the theaters, huge, big screen, lots of sound, stuff like that. But 1,000% honest, I think the age of the theaters are going to be a thing of the past because at this point, I would have liked to see Disney bring out Black Widow on Disney Plus. I understand maybe using Disney Plus to keep separate from the TV shows to the movies, but I mean, I really think they had an opportunity there to bring her out. Now, here's the thing: is when you come out in May, you're going to push it out next May for the theaters. Regal's already gone out of business. Theaters are shut down. AMC's going bankrupt. There's your two largest theater chains out there. Where are you going to put this movie at? That's my question. Yes. K-Test, yes, I definitely. Hey, come on, it's No Shave November. But I actually am. I will probably end up trimming it up a little bit. I do agree with you. But yeah, like I said, for me, I think I like the idea of direct video on demand because I mean I've got my kids, and a lot of times my wife and I don't get a chance to go out to the theaters very often, and so it makes it a lot easier to where if I can just get it on demand and get it at home, then I can just go from there and enjoy it. I just read that today, actually. Unfortunately, I haven't even seen the second one yet. I don't know what my problem is, but the first Fantastic Beasts, I enjoyed it. I just haven't gotten around to watching the second one yet. But I did hear that they were replacing Johnny Depp in the Magical Beast franchise. I mean, I can't say much because I didn't see the second one, so I don't know where they were going with it yet to see if that is really something that's going to make a difference in the overall. But excuse me. But I don't know. I don't know how that feels. I was a big Pirates fan. I mean, I've got a Pirates of the Caribbean tattoo on my leg. I'm a huge Pirates fan, and I'm going to be boycotting if they do completely. Because I think they've already fired him or whatnot. I don't know the full deal, but I know that of course, Depp made that franchise. I think if they do anything less and don't have Jack Sparrow in that franchise, it's gonna die. That's just my personal opinion, but I will boycott that movie personally if he's not in it. Which one they need? Which one not going to happen? They need to see that money. What are we talking about with Johnny Depp? I'm not sure on that one. Says no, Chris. Look up Pattinson's filmography. He has some chops. He isn't strictly. We did actually. Me and OTDG. We did look at his filmography last week, and majority of his films, I would say, 80% of his films, if not 85%, are chick flick movies. I mean, really, other than Harry Potter and now Batman. I mean, I'm sorry, but that Water for Elephants, chick flick movie. I mean, of course, the whole Twilight series, chick flick movies. I mean, he hasn't really done any real action movies to begin with. So I think his limited range on acting is extremely limited. And again, that's just my opinion. You're going to get what you're going to get, I think, from him is you're going to get a very dramatic Batman. And maybe that's the direction they're trying to go with this. Maybe this is early Batman because he's got that young look to him. Maybe this is an early Batman. Maybe this is him discovering how to become the Batman. I don't know. Maybe that's the way they're going to go with it. But it's good. I mean, it already looks like just from the trailers, it's going to be very dramatic. So I don't know. Again, who knows? It says, tear down. What's up? Maybe so. Says, tear down the theaters, return. Oh, that could be a possibility. I'm actually not hating that idea either. Drive-in, I used to love doing the drive-ins back when I was a kid. We used to do them a lot when we were younger, even in high school years. We used to pile people in the back of a truck and just hang out. And that was always a lot of fun. Where else we got? Margot Robbie is starring in is she going to play Red the Pirate? Because that's another thing. and I don't want to sound bad by any means, but I think changing the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, I'm not to say that I don't think what they did with it was bad, but why? It didn't make any sense. That's the way it was back. There was an historical item. That's the way, Walt portrayed it. That's the way Walt saw it. That's the way it was showed in the history books. Why not show the history? Why show something that didn't happen? And I think that's kind of the disappointment factor to it. Margot Robbie, I will give it. She's a fantastic actress. She has a huge range of everything she can do. So I'm not hating that by any means. Where else we at? Regal and AMC are really both struggling. I hope they can last. Maybe remodel the cramming shoulder to shoulder mod to do something more roomy. Again, I just don't see it. I don't really see people flooding into the theaters anytime soon. At least maybe into mid next year. I mean, maybe Black Widow. I may go over there to watch that because I really want to see Black Widow. Plus, I think I just want to really see a Marvel movie. It's by the time that comes out, it'll have been 2 years? 2 years since we've seen a Marvel movie. Endgame being the last one. I mean, come on, Disney, put it on video on demand. That's all I gotta say. Huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan too. Have a signed photo of Jack Sparrow, a replica ring. Yeah, that's awesome. I would absolutely love that. Ken, I'm right there with you. Pirates is great. I got 6 scale Hot Toys. Hot Toys, man. You've got some Hot Toys. You got something there. I love those. Those damn things are just expensive. Got to run. Have a great night, everyone. Don't forget to hit the like. Definitely. JB, thank you, buddy. I do appreciate you joining me and hanging out. Definitely don't forget to hit that like button down there if you haven't done so already. It says, can't they remodel each seat 6 feet away? That's a great date. Yeah, 6 feet. You take a date out, and you got to be 6 feet away. I don't think that's going to work out with the young people who are trying to use the movies to make the moves and stuff like that. I don't think that's going to work too much. But like I said, you can do. I mean, come on. Netflix came out. You had the whole Netflix and chill thing going on. But now it's just video on demand. Like I said, I'm down with it. I'm all for it. So Beer Barrett. So are we talking about Johnny Depp's character at this point? I know Johnny Depp, that was a big character in the first Fantastic Beasts, but I know that was a big plot twist at the end. I just didn't see the second one. I assumed he was a bigger part of that movie. Like I said, I just have not seen it yet. But like I said, it's all about getting in out there and enjoying a little bit and doing some stuff. But definitely, I definitely got to see that. But I did hear about Johnny Depp getting replaced. It is what it is. So what else we got? What you guys? If there's a movie coming out right now, let me ask you guys, if there's any movie, I don't know whether it's in theaters yet. To be honest with you, I don't even know what's in theaters right now, if there is anything in theaters, but coming out, because you got to know Hollywood's got to be stacking these movies right now for things that they're hoping to put in the theaters, or if they're delaying it or whatnot. What movie out there? I mean, mine's Black Widow, but what movie out there are you guys most clamoring to see? Because I think they got to start moving with video on demand and start releasing these movies for all of us. Personally, that's just my feeling on it. But I want to know what you all think as far as getting out there and checking things out. Okay, 1 second. Or here's another question. Other than just movies, what good comic books y'all come out with lately? I know I've been out of that a little bit. I've been meaning to go to the comic book store and try to find something new, but try to get in there a little bit. Andy Roberts, James Bond. Is it still the same actor that's playing the James Bond? I can't remember his name right now. It boggles my mind at the moment, but um, I mean, I'm not hating on the James. I just think that James Bond is just they've done so many damn movies, and it almost some of them. I think that Daniel Craig. That's it. I think some of his movies have changed the plot lines for Bond a lot because a lot of times, I'm sorry, when you start getting into a lot of Bonds, it was always like, I mean, you could plan out how the movie was going to roll. It had like a standard, but I will say I think when I watched some of the Daniel Craig Bonds, I mean, it completely changed up how you saw Bond and how he portrayed himself and how he carried himself. He was definitely I kind of like the change. It brought difference because of. I mean, I don't know how many they got out now. I mean, I really don't know how many they got out now, but it's definitely good. This is another one I'm looking forward to, Ghostbusters Afterlife, especially since this was, if I remember correctly, if I read about this one, it was, I believe, produced by Dan Aykroyd, because, of course, we know that last Ghostbusters reboot, I don't know, it was bad. It was just bad. I wasn't really into it much. And Halloween Kills. I don't know much about that one, but that sounds interesting. I know you're into more of the scary movie stuff, so that could definitely be interesting at that. But who knows? Who knows what could come out? But yeah, the James Bond movie. Actually, a movie I'm really also looking forward to seeing. I was looking forward to seeing when I first seen the trailer, and I know, of course, it was supposed to come out this summer, and we all got lost with that one, and was Top Gun. Who else wanted to see Top Gun? I think Top Gun was going to be a fantastic movie, and I know a lot of people are about Tom Cruise and all, but I think that Top Gun Maverick movie was looking pretty damn awesome. So that one I'm still, because I like the camera shots they were getting on these jets. I mean, that was awesome just from what you're seeing in the trailer. So what they're going to put in the movie, man, that might be even better. Haven't heard of Halloween Kills. Gonna have to check it out. Yeah, that's gonna be another one I'm gonna have to check out. I want to see Mr. Nice Guy. Yeah, that does. I mean, anything Ryan Reynolds I think does at this point nowadays is just, I mean, gold. That whole, because he now is jumping into that whole video game realm. I mean, whoever thought about that, side character in a movie, and thought, hey, maybe there's a story to that. Who knows? But I think that's definitely going to be a quite interesting movie to check out. But yeah, Bearded Barbarian's feeling me on Maverick. That looks good. I mean, I was still always a big Top Gun fan. I think I watched that like a month or two ago. I still love that movie. I don't know what about it. And definitely still, but I definitely think that I don't know. I still actually tear up a little bit on the goose scene, to be honest. And even though I know it's coming out, it's just sad. But Coming to America too. Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised. I don't think I've seen. Have they come out with a trailer on that one yet? I haven't seen any of that. But I think Coming to America. I was actually surprised Eddie Murphy was going to do it. To be 1,000% honest with you, but I think it could be interesting, but I haven't seen a trailer on it, so I don't really know what the storyline is. I mean, wouldn't he already technically still be in America? But I don't know. We'll have to see how that storyline goes. That could be definitely interesting. But I don't know. I think that one is also not such a classic. I mean, he's got to bring Arsenio back with him on that one. That one has got to be. You got to bring the two of them back on it. But that kind of one could also be one that you might want to leave it just as the original. Leave it the way it was. Sometimes it's things with some of these reboots. Some of them are they can do it. They can do it real good. Like I think the Top Gun, the Maverick one is going to be real good. But sometimes things like Coming to America, I don't know. I don't know if I want to destroy that. That was such a great movie back in the day. It was raw. It was awesome. And I don't think you want to kill that. I think sometimes when you bring reboots, I mean, that was just like when Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels finally decided to do the Dumb and Dumber 2. I mean, the first one was so good that, it had so much hype for that second one, and it was bad. I mean, I think I watched it once, and by the time I finally finished watching it, I was so disappointed. I was incredibly disappointed. I mean, I don't know. It just it wasn't up there to snuff for me. I just didn't really care for it much. But that's just me personally. And but I mean, like I said, it could be good. Might not be. I agree. Again, Free Guy looks good. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it could be fun. It could be a disaster. I mean, it's still. I think the thing, even with the Dumb and Dumber thing, is the second one was so bad, but it still doesn't change that the first one was classic. The first one just needs to stay where it is, and it needs to stay classic, and go from there. But like I said, it is what it is, and hopefully it doesn't suck. But I don't know. But I agree with Kano. Classics need to be left alone. There's certain things that need to be left where they were, and just don't touch them. Just leave them. Just leave. Stop screwing with things. Just leave them where they are. But I think, to me, a little bit, Hollywood is like, I don't know. There's been so many reboots and remakes that it's like, what is it, Hollywood just running out of ideas? I mean, I'm pretty sure that's partially what it is, but why don't we get some more originality? Find some good comedic actors nowadays that can carry something and make something funny. Don't fix nothing that isn't broken, more or less. I would agree. Because again, I think a little bit, depending on who it is, depending on the movie, that really bad reboot could be really bad for the entire franchise. Could turn people off, from watching the original again. That's just like the Bill and Ted. I have not watched the newer one yet. And I actually didn't hear bad things about it, to be honest with you. But then again, I remember when after the original Bill and Ted came out, when they had the Bogus Journey back in the 90s, everyone was like, oh, that's going to be horrible. They should just leave it alone. And that movie kicked ass, man. I absolutely love that thing. Tell Hollywood to read more comics and they can get more movies. Why don't we get them to do DC correctly first, and then we can talk about doing more comics. Said I want them to remake something like Black Hole, a story of modern CGI would be a story where modern CGI would be amazing. Black Hole, is that I don't know. I don't think I've seen anything about that one, or at least I don't remember. That'd be interesting. Yeah, that's a great example. Jumanji was a great example. I think that original one with Robin Williams was fantastic. Absolutely great movie. And and I remember they brought out, if you remember, they actually brought out another one before the recent one, but it was named something else, but same idea, same everything. I think it was more based on space or something like that. And then these new ones, I mean, they got their comedic parts to it. It's okay, but I mean, to me, it still doesn't hold the stature to the Robin Williams set. The original was fantastic, where the reboots, whatever, were so left field, ended up being nothing more than original storyline. I agree. Like I said, and plus, I think for that one, I mean, I'm not down in The Rock or Kevin. Can't remember his name right now, his last name, but they had its comedic feels and stuff like that. But I mean, it feels faked, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not a movie, because again, if you want a classic movie, you want a movie that you can be willing to watch over and over and over again and still enjoy each and every time. I watched those once, really have no interest in watching them again. But the original Jumanji, I'll watch again with Robin Williams for sure. I agree. Yes, there is more than superhero stuff, within the comic realm, and they definitely can get into there. And that is it. Zathora. Again, I know I'm killing that saying, but yeah, that one was like a Jumanji. I don't know if it was connected to the original one, or if it was just another play off the same plot. I don't know. It was decent. I do remember it was more like a space one, but it seemed like it fed the same layout as the original Jumanji did. Again, something that you never really want. I never really cared to see again, to be honest with you. There's another one. Ooh, you're hitting it right on the dot with that one. The new Venom movie. Yes, the Venom movie looks fantastic, especially since we all know there is going to be a cameo somewhere in the movie. I think it's going to be more at the end of the movie with the Tom Holland Spider-Man showing up at some point. So, which is supposed to bring together the entire Spider-Verse that's going to go on. I'd even like to see Miles make a cameo, to be honest with you, too. But I don't think Miles is going to be added in until MCU kind of starts explaining the multiverse and stuff like that. I think there's going to be a lot of, plot lines being played off each other between Sony and the MCU. Because like I said, I think, a lot of that does connect to a certain extent, but definitely the new Venom. And I actually liked the first Venom, to be honest. I think Tom Hardy did a fantastic job with that. And I've watched that a couple times. I can rewatch that one and enjoy it. I haven't seen it. If you haven't seen Venom still, I would recommend seeing it. If you can check it out, it was like I said, I really enjoyed it. The villain was kind of weak, to be honest with you. He didn't have, I think they could have gotten somebody that, had a little bit more, power and authority, but he fit the tech geek image pretty well. I'll give him that. Yeah. Again, that one's going to be awesome. Have you seen the remakes of Journey to the Center Earth ones with is that the one with the Brendan Fraser ones remakes? I remember that Brendan Fraser did some Journey to Center Earth. I think they did 2 of them or something like that. I did watch the original one. I don't remember watching the second one. It wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. That was before Brendan Fraser went into hiding. He kind of fell off the edge of the earth for a while. He was like in every movie forever and then just fell off the edge of the earth. No pun intended on that one. Oh yeah, for Venom, yeah, definitely gotta go watch that. A new Doctor Strange movie, but I don't think we're gonna get that for a couple of years, to be honest with you. I know we know that the next 2 are gonna be Black Widow and Eternals, and I believe Shang-Chi is soon after that. So I don't think we're gonna get Doctor Strange at least until 2022. But Doctor Strange is I think they're gonna start introducing, start explaining the timeline a little bit, and then start to introduce some new characters like the Eternals and Shang-Chi. And I think once you eventually get to Doctor Strange 2, I think that when they get into the multiverse, that's really where the plot twist is going to really take an effect for what I think is the Secret Wars. I think the next big Avengers, battle is going to be the Secret Wars. That's just my personal, thing. I like Tom Hardy. Yeah, give him a shot, man. Tom Hardy does some fantastic stuff. I haven't seen anything he's done, but he does some fantastic stuff. But yeah, I think around the time that Multiverse of Madness comes out, I think that is when you're going to see things like Miles and stuff, because of course we know Miles has something to do with the multiple universes, stuff like that. So that could definitely be something in there. But I'm excited for them to do live action Miles. I was a big fan of the multiverse movie that they did with him. Random movie question. Anyone excited about Kevin Wan's upcoming Mortal Kombat? They're doing another Mortal Kombat. I remember the one back in the 90s. The first one was awesome. The second one was just stupid. It was horrible. I think I watched it on video afterwards at some point, and I don't even think I could get through half the movie. It was just dumb. The first one was awesome. I remember seeing that when I was a teenager, right, less than a teenager. But I absolutely loved that movie. And I know it's cheesy. Back then, it was 90s graphics at its best for that one. My wife wants to see Venom next, but I really want to see what happens with the next Doctor Strange. Now, are you talking about she wants to see the Venom 1 movie, or you talk about the new Venom with Carnage in it? Have you already seen the first Venom is the question here. If you haven't seen the first Venom, then go with her. You need to see the first Venom. It's a fantastic movie. Where are we at with this? Have you heard anything about the Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt? Is that a whole new series? I haven't heard anything about that. That sounds quite interesting. Tomorrow, where are we at? Come on. Tomorrow War. I like anything Chris Pratt, to be 1,000% honest with you. I think Chris Pratt's a fantastic actor. Unlike some other ones we already talked about, but again, I digress. But yeah, it's just wow, this looks like it could be interesting. Yeah, this one, a man is drafted to fight a future war where the fate of humanity relies on ability to confront his past. This could be interesting. Definitely. I mean, I'm for this one. This could definitely be something. Especially like I said, Chris Pratt's in it. I'm already down for it. Kano, where we got? Yeah, the new one is going to be rated R. Supposed to have fatalities, etc. Modern. Should be interesting. Like I said, I mean, the original one was cool, but I mean that was like the best of the '90s graphics we could get back then. Funny is I think I've watched it. I watched it. I don't know, maybe 3-4 months ago, and you definitely watch that now, and you're like, wow, that was at the height of '90s graphics that we had was that Mortal Kombat, and it looks so cheesy nowadays. It compared to what they're doing and putting out there. But definitely, I mean, it sounds like it would have to be rated R if they're going to do the real life fatalities and stuff like that. It's going to be more of that gore factor movie, to be honest with you. But Tomorrow War, I haven't heard much. I need to look into this really good. Yeah, everything Chris Pratt does, I think, is fantastic. What was the recent Marvel movie that came out that I have seen, but I can't remember what it's called, but it was pretty good. There, as far as I know, there hasn't been any Marvel movies that have come out since Endgame, and that was the last Marvel movie that actually came out as far as the live action. I don't know if there was any animated stuff that's come out. I know Disney Plus is doing like the Avengers Assemble animated now, stuff like that, but I mean, Black Widow was supposed to be the first movie of Phase 4, but of course it was supposed to be out in May, and then Eternals was supposed to be out in November, and then both of those got pushed back to next year. So, I mean, when we're going to get a Marvel movie, I have no idea. I think they need to just put Black Widow on demand. Original Mortal Kombat was fun. Saw it in the theaters when it came out. Still enjoying it. Like I said, the original one was great. And then they went ahead and you thought that the second one was going to be great because they got pretty much a lot of the same actors, except for Raiden. It wasn't the same Raiden, and I didn't like the change on that one. But I think that, it was just the whole plot line, everything was just dumb. It was just a horrible movie. That is another one, actually, and especially for Sony, that what is going on here? That Flash reported New Mutants. New Mutants, I think, is going to be fantastic. New Mutants is going to hover on that, the comic book horror side of things, because it's not going to be like, it's going to be a scary movie. I mean, to be honest with you, I honestly think the entire thing is going to be like a scary plotline movie. But I think they've got a great cast, and I think that New Mutants movie is going to be fantastic. But I think that's another one. Is it already out? Okay, so it's already out. So you have seen it. So was it good? So I didn't know. Again, I don't even know what they've put in theaters. I haven't been to a theater. Last movie I saw in a theater was Endgame. So especially since all this COVID stuff happened, I don't even know what. I don't know what theaters are put into the theaters. I don't know what studios have put into theaters and what they're holding on to. I'm so lost nowadays on what is going on as far as that. But hey, if you've seen it already, again, being that I knew that thing was going to be scary. That wasn't going to be your happy-go-lucky X-Men type movie. That looked like it was going to be scary, and that was going to be really good. But I definitely that's one I'm looking forward to. This is another one. And of course, this goes into the Spider-Verse, and this is going to eventually tie in with Venom and all that, and Spider-Man. But Morbius does look fantastic. Jared Leto redeems himself in the superhero world after that disastrous Joker from Suicide Squad, and Morbius looks incredible. They even got the look down, everything about it is going to be fantastic. And I think, again, he's going to be a great addition to that whole Spider-Verse they got over there. I personally enjoyed New Mutants. It wasn't terrifying, but there was some hints of terror moments. Again, I don't think you need to have like scary, like horror movie area, but if you can have enough areas to make you jump, I think that would definitely be something worthwhile. But yeah, Morbius, I do remember seeing that trailer, and I was like, oh wow, that looks really good. I think that was supposed to come out this year, but when did Morbius get pushed back? I'm sure everything good is getting pushed back. Sucks. Yeah, got pushed back March 18th, 2021. So hopefully we'll get that one in. And actually, I want to see, because I did still see Top Gun Maverick. I want to see when did they push that one back? June 26, 2020. So they pushed that back an entire year, because I think that one's supposed to come out in June or July or something like that. When that one's supposed to come out, but yeah, everything's getting pushed back to next year, unfortunately, and it sucks. Good to see that they did put New Mutants in the theater, which definitely, for me, we're not going to theaters right now. We're kind of just still staying clear and doing our stuff over here. Of course, Florida is not on lockdown by any means, but we just decided for our family's sake, we're just still gonna, stay close to home as much as possible, and just kind of ride this thing out as much as we can. But yeah, I even think with Florida being open, there's nobody really going to the theater. Our theaters out here are pretty much empty, from what I understand. Oh, is he making some new ones? I've got my one over here that I got from him. See, and what he's talking about is the new splats Xavier has been working on, or that they have out now. I just ordered the bloody one and pre-ordered the Christmas tree one. I have not. I'm gonna have to. Let me see what he's got up here. If he's got something cool, I'll bring it up on the screen. At toys. I'm gonna see what he's created something really, really interesting over there, and it's definitely kind of cool. With what he is doing. I don't think that's the right website. Never mind. Chris, what is his website, by the way? I'm not seeing it. I'm trying to figure out what it is. But yeah, if you guys don't know, Xavier, what the hell is this? He's got a channel. But his kid Xavier, he's young kid. He's created basically his whole line of collectibles. They're nothing huge, but they're creative. And I did buy one in an auction. I thought it was fantastic. And I think he's doing something really, really cool over there, to be honest with you. And I may have to look into that. I know, Chris, you get into a lot more of those different types of, like, I know you get into the tiny ghosts and stuff like that, and some of those, man, I think they're really cool, but I'm just not ready to jump into that world of that, to be honest with you. I'm not ready to and especially some of those get expensive and they sell out really, really quick. But I definitely have enjoyed I've enjoyed them, and I'll keep watching your channel to see all the new stuff, to be honest with you, but I'm not ready to get into them too much. I live in one of the strictest areas of California, in the Bay Area. I used to live in the Bay Area. In fact, that's where my wife's from. After when I started high school, I grew up in Massachusetts, and then we moved to California, San Jose, California. So that's where I met my wife, and then of course we moved around, and we ended up in Florida. Says we have a drive. Oh crap! You may be in the same area I used to. Is that the one off Capitol Expressway? Because we used to go. There was a drive-in theater that had like 6 screens, and we used to go there all the time. And it was right off of Capitol Expressway, and they do a flea market there during the daytime. And we used to go out to the movies at night because it was cheap. It was like $10 for your whole car. Like I said, my buddy's dad had a big old truck, so we used to have a blanket. We used to lay down in the back and cover us up over, so that way they only paid for the one truck, or sometimes they would pay for how many people were there. I don't remember, but yeah, we used to just pile everyone in there and just go and hang out and have fun. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this comment right here. That's just wrong. Nobody needs to see that. Nobody needs to know about that. That needs to stay right where. I mean, it's Techbot After Dark after all, but nobody needs that image of that. We don't. You can keep that collectible yourself. You don't need to be show doing videos on that one. You can keep that one alone. But yeah, Xavier the Geek on IG, definitely check him out. He's got some cool stuff. So no, but I know what you're talking about. It's not downtown San Jose. It was more like I think it was like I don't remember what part of the town, but I used to live right over there. The apartment complex is right across the street from it. It was actually the first apartment my wife and I had together. Was right there. So I know that area very well. We lived over there for quite a bit, but yeah, that theater was awesome. But what are you 20? Oh, Concord. Okay, I'm talking about the one in Concord. Yeah, I used to go to Concord every now and then for work. But I don't know too much about Concord. You're about an hour. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know exactly where. I see. I'm originally a Bruins fan. I grew up in Massachusetts, so I mean, I was as young as I could. I remember I was a Patriots fan, a Red Sox fan, a Bruins fan, and a Celtics fan. I mean, see, we got our Celtics, our Red Sox. We're still sporting, even though they did horrible this year and the Patriots suck right now, but that's all right. I'm still going to stick by my team no matter what. And that's just how it goes. So, but I do remember going to plenty of Sharks games. God, I hope you didn't. That would be weird. That would be definitely weird. So yeah, you can keep that one alone. Yes, go Bruins, man. Like I said, big Boston fan. I was actually going to have a buddy of mine, his son, but he ended up falling asleep too early. I guess the show's a little bit late for him. But he does like on Instagram, he does like these weekly football picks, and apparently he's been doing pretty good at them. But I was gonna have him come on and give him his weekly picks for the week. But he I guess he does football during the day, so he passed out. He was out in the field all day, so it's all good. Maybe we'll get him on next week. Yeah. No, I would agree. There's not a bad seat of the Shark Tank. I've been down close to the glass. I've been all the way up at the top, and it's still a good seat no matter where you go. But I remember, I think my first hockey game I ever went to was watching the Boston Bruins go on against the Quebec Nordiques. Then I'm dating myself here. If y'all remember the Quebec Nordiques at the Boston Garden itself, the original Boston Garden, before they tore it down. That was my first Bruins game. And I saw one other Bruins game there, of course, before they tore it down. I think that was against the Florida Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. But I do definitely remember my very first Bruins game. It was against the Nordiques, and that was classic. But yeah. If we can't beat the Jets tomorrow, to be 100%, if the Patriots can't beat the Jets tomorrow, especially since Darnold is not playing, we should just fold up the rest of the season and try for a high draft pick. To be 1,000% honest, because you just don't lose to the Jets, especially since I think they're trying to tank the season right now to get a different quarterback. To be honest with you, Yeah, they're not good, and thankfully, at least they're so bad that we're not the worst in the division. But we definitely have a possibility. The Patriots have a possibility of coming back, but they kind of need to get their heads out of their ass, to be honest with you, and start playing a little bit better. Unfortunately, we're still out. Key players like Edelman. I think Harry's still out, but I know we picked up that one wide receiver, so maybe that'll help. Who knows? But yeah, if we don't beat the Jets, they just need to fold up the season and just go for a high draft pick, to be honest with you. Oh, we got Pop T in. What's happening, brother? Appreciate you joining. I've got a brick from the original garden. That would be cool. That would definitely be cool. I was young when I saw that game. I think I was in elementary school when I saw that game, and it was probably one of the coolest things, I think. And we were way up top, of course, but that was definitely, to be able to at least say that I've seen a game in the original Boston Garden was definitely cool. I mean, especially seeing them rafters those banners hanging from the rafters. I mean, that's just classic right there. So the Niners did get crushed by Green Bay, but again, you guys are out your main quarterback, your main tight end, probably for the rest of the season. I mean, rumor has it that Niners may just release Garoppolo, and then Belichick can just pick him right back up, and he can come back on to New England. I think we'll take him all day. Tanking for Trevor. I mean, I think that's what the Jets are doing, to be honest with you. But I don't think Trevor. To be honest with you, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a bust. I think he's a decent quarterback, but I think going with the speed of the NFL, I think he's going to be a bust, to be honest with you. There's a couple other good players I think are going to be good coming out. But if we're talking Trevor Lawrence, yeah, I hope New England doesn't go after Trevor Lawrence, to be honest with you. Don't tank for him. He's going to be a bust. He's not going to be that. I mean, he plays slow to begin with. In my opinion. So I think when he gets to the speed of the NFL, I think he's just going to tank. I mean, if not, it's going to be another the dude from the Ravens. Although he does great during the season, come playoff football time, he's gonna crumble like a. I don't know. The only analogy I can get is crumble like a tin can, but I know that's not the best analogy. I like I said, I think he's going to be a bust. But I could be wrong. I mean, I definitely could be wrong. Maybe the kid does real well. The one thing I would actually like to see, to be 1,000% honest, is either go after Garoppolo, but I know Garoppolo has been very injury prone, or I would like to see New England go after Deshaun Watson in the offseason. I think Deshaun, although he is that still running quarterback, but he's not like Cam. He doesn't go for the run from the start is a problem. Cam does too many times where he takes that option and, he's always got to have the ball. Deshaun he's a pass first guy. And I think he's got a much better arm to begin with. So I would like to see them go after Deshaun Foster. Oh yeah, people did. I don't get me wrong. I mean, TB12. I mean, he thinks he's slow himself. I mean, we all know he wasn't the greatest runner by any means, but yeah, I mean, but you gotta be able to see. But I don't know. Maybe I'll give Trevor the benefit of the doubt, but I don't see him converting that success to the NFL correctly. I mean, that's just like everyone thought Vince Young was going to be this NFL standout and stuff like that, and he was a complete bust. But Deshaun's going to be expensive, but I also see Belichick kind of cleaning house, but I also see Deshaun taking an incentive because, Belichick loves to do those incentive type contracts, and Deshaun wants to win. And that's if you can find a quarterback that primarily out there, he's made some money. He's gotten some big contracts. He wants to win. And I think that's where Deshaun and Belichick are going to come into a connection there because he's never going to win in Houston. He's just not this season. They're gonna trade away, or they're gonna release, or they're gonna do something and move JJ Watt somewhere else. And then they're just gonna basically dismantle the entire team and start all over again. And I don't see Deshaun playing there past that. But if Belichick can work his magic, I could see them going after Deshaun. I know Belichick's always got that cap of where he'll put things on, but I mean, could you imagine Deshaun coming back and doing fantastic? But again, I also see Belichick going after Garoppolo, even though he's been injury prone. I mean, Garoppolo is a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He's got a great arm. He's got a great sense, but he's injury prone. Especially since there's been a high ankle sprain. Ankles never heal back correctly, and that's one of the worst injuries to get because it's always going to come back, and that's the hard part about it. High ankle sprain sucks. If they get him back, don't spend a lot of money on him. That's the only thing I can see. I'll apologize. I need to drop out and go watch The Mandalorian. Nice chat. Hey, buddy, enjoy it. I'm not giving you anything about The Mandalorian. If you come back and watch Wayne's Mandalorian show later, you'll see my opinion on this episode. But enjoy yourself. I still think it's going to be a great series in the end. Bill loves him some Jimmy G. Yeah, we all know Bill loves some Garoppolo, and that's who he wanted to take over the team, and whatever the storyline was that, or whatever happened, or whether Kraft trumped Belichick's plans, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that, but I could definitely see Jimmy coming back to the Patriots. I would even see that. I could see the Niners releasing him before the end of the season, and New England picking him up for something cheap, to be 1,000% honest, because we all know they're tight on the cap to begin with. But I can see them picking up something cheap for potential future larger contract, and just letting him heal. Just at this point, don't rush him to come back with that high ankle sprain. Don't rush him to come back, and just let him heal, push him into next season, and and go from there. But just pay him to sit. That's where I say. Just pay him to sit and go from there. That's just my opinion. But there's some good players. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't see. I think the only team that's going to stop Kansas City again at this point, the only team that's got the chance at this point, because they are playing so incredibly well, is Pittsburgh. I think, to be honest, the AFC. If I were to sit here and put a Super Bowl prediction halfway through the season, I would say that AFC Championship is going to be Pittsburgh and Kansas City, because Baltimore, I'm sorry, but Lamar Jackson's going to crumble again in the playoffs, because he does, and he can't play playoff football. And I don't see anybody else really in the AFC. I mean, maybe Buffalo. Buffalo's going to make some waves, but I think Kansas City and Pittsburgh are just too tough, and I think they're going to lead the AFC. As far as the NFC goes, I mean, of course, it's going to be Tampa Bay. Although, I mean, New Orleans is going to be right in the mix there. And, I think New Orleans is still going to be – I mean, because Drew's on a win or retire season, in my opinion. But I think that's going to be tough. And I think that's a good possibility right there in the NFC, because who else? No. Seattle's not doing too bad. I think it's going to be, to be honest with you, though, I think it's going to be Tampa Bay and Seattle in the NFC Championship. And out of those four, I got to say it's probably going to be, as well as Tampa Bay is playing right now, I'm probably going to say it's going to be Tampa Bay and Kansas City. That's my predictions. And if it's that, I mean, I only got those two teams to root for. Of course, I'm going to root for Tom and Grunk. I'm definitely going to root for him. And unfortunately, typically in the NFL, if it's an AFC team, I typically root for the AFC teams, because that's just the way I am. But I'm going to go I'll go for Tampa. I'll go for Tampa to win the Super Bowl right now. I'll call it now. I'm not going to give points because that's just too close. But they're not bad. They're not horrible. They're mediocre. I mean, yeah, but I agree. And probably maybe I'm going against everything I've said in the past. Defense wins football games. that's the bottom line to that. Defense wins football games. Defense wins championships. And yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, they do have a mediocre defense, so maybe that wasn't the greatest one. But I mean, who else in the NFC? I mean, you all know the NFC East is garbage. I mean, they're just straight garbage. I really the NFC West. Rams are mediocre. Arizona's okay. Again, a young quarterback with no playoff experience. Not going to last very long. So Seattle is probably the only one to come out of that one. I mean, like I said, I really don't see other than if New Orleans. I mean, and that could be a great game for if it's New Orleans, Tampa Bay in the NFC Championship game. That could definitely be a good one. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. Yes, you got Brady, you got Grunk over there, and of course now Antonio Brown. But I don't really consider Antonio Brown a Patriot. He played one game, and then he screwed it up for himself. But no, it's Tampa. I don't play that. I don't play that game. I do believe, as being a sports fan myself, and the way I was always taught and raised, you're a fan of one team and one team only. I don't play these, 2-team fan games. That to me, that's just you just a bandwagon fan at that point. So, to me, it's Patriots or die. And a lot of times when it comes to Super Bowl, of course, you got to make things interesting. And I'll still at that point, I consider myself still a fan of the game. Will I pick a team that I'm going to root for in that game? Because I do always like to have a team to at least root for and hope they win. Although there's been some in the past that I didn't care for either team, so I just didn't care. But I mean, I'll give it. Like I said, Tom's there. Yeah, I'll hope for him to win. I know Tampa's going to play New England next season, and I hope we smash him to be 1,000%. Because again, it's New England or bust. But I may also treat just like I did last season. The way I typically treat most sports is once my team's out of the playoffs, I really don't watch a whole lot after that. When basketball happened, the Celtics got knocked out. I didn't care about the rest. Bruins got knocked out. Didn't care about the rest. Didn't care when. I don't even know. I don't remember who the hell won the Stanley Cup. I think it was Tampa Bay, to be honest with you. And I'm down here, and I don't even remember that. Same thing with baseball. Of course, Red Sox didn't even make playoffs. So okay, that's done. That's just the way I've always been. Once my team's out, it's let's move on to the next sport. And that's the way I go for. So I'm a Boston fan through and through, always will be, and never change that. And the great part about living in Florida, Central Florida, I remember when I first started, to live out here, I always thought, I was going to get a lot of Tampa fans. Now Central Florida is all either, especially when it comes to baseball, it's all either Yankees or Red Sox fans. That's it. There's no difference to it. But yeah. So I mean, I still hope we 8 games left, halfway through the season. Patriots still got a chance to come back and make something of the season, but they definitely got to find something here, and they got to get their head out of their ass and make a run for this thing. Did you watch the Super Bowl? I watch Super Bowl. I mean, I always do. I have a friend that typically comes over, and we watch the Super Bowl and stuff like that. And I still always, to me, Super Bowl day, regardless of which team is it's like a holiday for me. I still enjoy it. There's something about it. Of course, when I don't have a team in it, I'm more about the commercials than the actual game. I've been lucky. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Being a Boston fan. Over especially, in my lifetime, I've seen bad teams. I've seen great teams. I have been so lucky as a fan of New England sports, that I've gotten a chance to see all 4 of my major sports teams win a championship. Going to see the Red Sox win a championship. Got to see the Bruins win the Stanley Cup. Got to see the Celtics win a championship. And of course, Tom Brady has brought us 6 out here in New England. That's why, New England will be forever in Tom Brady's debt. And that's why I'm still hoping that once he's done this Tampa thing, he does come back to New England and sign a 1-year deal to retire a Patriot. I think that's where he needs to leave his legacy at, because that's where he made the most impact. But, that's just the way I feel about it. That's just the way I always go. And yeah, what we good? I was at Disney World that day. Shit, yeah, I don't. Well, yeah, I was doing YouTube at the time, but I don't think I was much in the community, to be 1,000%. But yeah, so you were out here in Orlando that day, huh? See, I was out. I went out the year before when New England won. I was out. I went out to the parks when Brady and Edelman were out here after the day after the Super Bowl. I was also at Disney the day after the Super Bowl when they were in Atlanta, and James White was the MVP. And I saw him out there too. So I've like I said, I've gotten a chance. Those are the closest parades I got. I've never been to Boston for a parade. I think that would be absolutely awesome. But yeah. So what's funny, and most people don't realize, if you guys actually go to Disney, and if you saw him at Disney, you probably have noticed that there's a spot. You line up at Disney to go see the parade, and you go out there with your sports teams, and I went out there with my Patriots jersey and stuff like that. And there's a particular section along the parade route that if you have team colors, you cannot stand in there. You can. They have a boundary area, and that's where the cameras are at. So they don't want any sports teams on there. In fact, they tell the players you not wear any sports teams when you're there, because of course they don't have the licensing rights for that to show that on TV or gotten approval. So they don't want to pay any teams for that licensing right. So you can't have any sports stuff on camera while they do it. It's actually quite funny and quite interesting. I would agree. Still, and that's still a Boston tradition. So, I mean, I don't think we've seen the last of Boston teams winning stuff, and I'm sure the Duck Boats will be back out. So, I mean, but New England's going to be in a real. And this is probably the first time I've said this in many, many years. Like I said, I've been very, very lucky as being a Patriot fan. We're in a rebuilding. I mean, that we got to get our cap under control. New England's rebuilding. Unfortunately, that's just the way it's going to be. We need to get our cap under control and everything like that, and bring in some players, and especially get players back that aren't even playing this year. I mean, we got 8 players that opted out for the season, and they were big time players. I mean, Chung and Hightower, and I mean, we had some big players that we lost, unfortunately. But games still got to be played, and we got to still move on. But yeah, so that's. But yeah, if they lose to the Jets tomorrow, they just need to tank the rest of the season. We can't hand the Jets their first win of the year. It can't happen. If we lose to the Jets, Cam just needs to be booed out of the city, and just stick Stidham in there for the rest of the season, just to see what the hell the guy can do. At that point, just let Stidham play and hope for the best, but expect the worst. But guys, I think that's going to be about do it for this episode of Techbot After Dark. Again, maybe I'll work and actually schedule up some guests for next week. Try to change it around. Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on the comments down below. Let me know what you guys enjoy, because again, this is going to be a show that is going to be forever changing, and something that is going to, develop to be what you guys enjoy. So, if there's something, whether you're watching this on the rewind or not, definitely leave a comment down below. Let me know what kind of topics you guys enjoyed me talking about. Because again, I'm open to a lot of things, whether it's sports, whether it's comic books, whether it's anything. Again, I like to let you guys drive this chat. And I have a lot of fun just hanging out, chatting with you guys. But again, it may bring some friends on next week to build and go from there. But definitely this is a building process, and we're gonna make wind this thing down to see where we go. So just trying a bunch of different things and enjoying myself, man. I have fun hanging out here, chatting with you guys on a Saturday night. So hopefully, we'll do this again next week and, see what happens. But if you haven't done so already, go ahead and smash that like button. Remember to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, and, and go from there. And then also, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and smash that subscribe button with that notification bell. As we always like to say over here at Mr. Techbot, do what you like, do what you love, and always, always, guys, unleash your inner nerd. Y'all have a great night. Enjoy yourselves.